Okie dokie folky, so we're doing a bit more on the Thunderhawk, and we're going to put the last little bits of external detail on before we start working on the weapon systems. This is the last bit that's going on before the Thunderhawk goes to be painted, because I want to do all of this and then go to paint before I start assembling the sponsons, because the sponsons are quite fiddly and they're going to block off certain parts, so I want to paint those separately. So what we have on here are the 6 launching racks, or rails, however you want to say, for the Thunderhawk's missiles. So these 6 go on the wings, 3 apiece. We have the air brakes and the pistons to operate them. We have the targeting system for the main cannons on the top. I have no idea what this is actually supposed to be, but it goes on the top just behind the main cannon firing and targeting mechanism. This is an atmospheric probe which goes on the front near the side of the cockpit. I'm in 2 minds whether to actually put it on or not, but yeah, I think I will. And can never have too many skulls for the Night Lords. So let's start putting bits and bobs on the Hawk. So this little skull is meant to go on this flat section here in between the 2 front windows of our cockpit. So now that I've cleaned it off, I'm going to pop a little dab of glue on the back of here. And we're going to pop this bad boy on and get him sat more or less where I want it. Now the fun part for things like this is making sure you can get it on so that it's not too crooked, which is always the challenge. And that's fine for me there. Might be a little bit crooked, but glue's on now. So skull goes onto there, and on the side here where there's this little cut section here with the 3 holes, this is where this atmospheric probe goes. So again, it's glue on the back and it sits onto there. So that will do now. Little bit of glue on the back of the probe. And we'll leave that to stick into there. So that's all we need for the front of the craft. Okay guys, so this hollow space on the back of our upper section here is for the air brakes. Now you can model them closed, or you can have them flared open to add a little bit of dynamicism to the craft. Now I'm flaring mine open simply because it looks cool. I want my Hawk to appear as though it's slowing down for a bombing run or about to drop off some troops, which I think would look pretty cool. So the brakes on my wings, the flaps have been flared open there as well to match, and it'll look quite shiny. So air brake has this track on the inside, and you have these pistons which have this long flat section here and the base there which goes into there, and basically you just pop this out to wherever you want it to stay and sit. Oh, excuse me. And I'm thinking of having mine, as I said, flared open to about there. I don't want them coming all the way back, so I'll probably have them out something similar to that. So I'll pop some glue on, and I will also do the other side. Stay tuned and we'll see how that all comes out and how that all looks. Okay, so pistons glued in on both sides, more or less even on where they come out. So I have the air brakes in. Okay. Next thing that we're going to pop on is the targeting system for the very top here for the Thunderhawk cannon or for the turbo laser. So the targeting system is what you see on top of most Space Marine sponsons, and it has this little notch on the bottom at the back. On the top here it fits into this space and backs onto that notch, that little tab, so it fits just there. So again, a little bit of glue, and we're laughing. All good to go. Next thing that we're putting on is, you see this little notch here where there's that little T section? That is where this piece of equipment goes. Now I think this might be the communications array, something like that. Not 100% sure what it's supposed to be, just know it goes on the top here. And you'll see on the back, again, another little notch, which is very convenient for that raised plate with the notch there. So again, small amount of glue, and it fits there. So, again, let's do that now. So, small amount of glue, back onto the notch, front, that way. Okay, and that's all the exterior detailing done for this top section. So we're going to pop that back and out the way. On with the rest of the Hawk. Go on out the way. Okay, the next section that we get to work on are going to be the undersides of the wings. So if I grab a wing back up. On the top side of the wing are these recesses for the las cannon attack foils to fold down into. On the underside are these three flat plates and a big hollow for the sponson. We're ignoring that for the moment, we're focusing on these three flat plates. On here, this is where your missile rails, your missile tracks go. Okay, and you want this curved section, come on, focus in, you want the curved section forward, and I'm going to have to heat these up and straighten a few of them, but curved section forward, and at the back there is this little tab cut away here which fits over this raised section there. So we want the missile rails to go on like so, 3 on each wing, and then we'll be able to mount the missiles and the bombs in here once they are all painted to add in separately. So let's do that now. So we have now, guys, pretty much a completed Thunderhawk. Let's give it a quick spin around for you. It's taken a long time for me to get it to this point, and now I can finally say it is ready for paint. There are still bits left to build on it. I need to build the front mounted heavy bolter sponsons and the wing mounted heavy bolter sponsons. I'm not doing those yet because this is the assembly here for put it on will block my access there, so I want to get this all painted before I assemble and put that together. I also want to paint the sponsons in bits because it's quite fiddly, so they are to be done afterwards. But this great monstrosity is now ready to be primed and taken to bits. So, speaking of taken to bits, as you will hopefully remember, the cannon mount is magnetised, so I can swap between the standard Thunderhawk cannon or the turbo laser if I want to. Okay. The attack foils fold up, they're free mounted, so I can get them up and out the way. Currently the front aerofoils both come off. I think what I'm probably going to do is stick them in place. I'm going to paint the doors whilst I've got nice free easy access to everything. Then I'm going to put the front aerofoils on because the front bolter sponsons are going to be stuck. So I'm going to need to have a case that's going to have something at the front that will let me get through there. So they're going to be stuck in place. The pins aren't very long on them anyway. The wings, as hopefully you remember, sit on the pins. Underneath are the missile racks, which the missiles pretty much just slot into and stay in place. So that being the one shots, I can just take them out after they've been shot, and that's where the bolter sponsons will go. So one wing, two wing, you will hopefully remember, seeing as it's just fallen apart, that I have not stuck the legs in yet. These again I want to paint separately so that I can get at everything on the underside, so I'll put those over there. Now the big thing about this craft at the moment, whole top comes off, so I can get around this to paint and prime nicely, and on the inside, so that doesn't fall over, stay, on the inside I can get at all of this detail. Okay, put that roof section in the back, and I'm going to build that up to be an engine, and the last bit that comes apart is the front section. Okay, this in the finished model will be stuck as one piece. I don't want this to come apart on the finished model. To get access to the detail in there will just be through the front hatch. So we're back and in lots of pieces spread around now. I'm going to get this all primed, into paint, and then it's all good to go. So your next few videos, folks, are me laying some colour down on this big old beast. Thank you for sticking with me through this project, and let's carry on and make it look as awesome as I absolutely can. Thank you again, folks. Take care, stay safe, have fun. Bye.